According to the Trenton Superintendent's most recent findings in 2016, 34% of the students from Trenton High School did not graduate. 1/3 of the students were chronically absent. 83.3% of the students did not reach the literacy expectations, and 92.9% did not reach math. Additionally, only 5% of the students met the national college readiness benchmarks. These facts speak for themselves.
Students in low-income communities do not have adequate access to academic support, a safe place to be in the evenings, and have fewer opportunities for leadership and empowerment.
We need to find a new, innovative solution to these challenges. Some people have looked to boarding schools as a potential solution.
Boarding schools address attendance rates because they offer these following benefits: extracurricular enrichment, academic and social support, a stable environment, and one-on-one support for students. However, boarding schools are not necessarily accessible to all students.
As a boarding school graduate, I have seen firsthand how living with teachers and classmates can empower students and transform students to become lifelong learners. Living with 40 girls for over 4 years empowered me to grow from a timid girl my father used to call a mouse to a more confident and more empathetic woman. Boarding schools, however, are traditionally for wealthier families and for students to leave their own communities.
So what if there was a low-cost, scalable solution to the problems that we see in low-income communities?
That's what we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Hi, my name is Natalie Tung, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of HomeWorks Trenton.
Hi, I'm Elijah Sumners. I'm the Community Relations Director.
My name is Maddie Barron, and I'm our operations manager.
And I'm Gagan Kaur, the director of marketing.
And Kylie Coates is our programming director, and
We are HomeWorks.
HomeWorks Trenton is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides an after-school boarding program to middle and high school girls in Trenton, New Jersey. We deliberately do not seek to replace, but instead act as a supplement to the Trenton public school system.
Our model is unlike any other. Our students attend their public schools during the day and then stay overnight with us at our HomeWorks house.
At HomeWorks, we provide the benefits of a boarding school without the high fixed costs, bureaucracy, and scalability issues of an actual school.
HomeWorks provides highly motivated young women from low-income communities with opportunities that are typically found outside of their communities. This is not just a dream. This is a reality, and we've been doing this for the past 2 summers. Last summer with 5 girls, and this summer with 10.
So what does a typical week look like? We start on Sunday evenings with a family potluck, as we believe in establishing a strong relationship with our parents. After the parents leave, the girls have a heart-to-heart discussion with our staff, a safe place to establish trust. The girls board from Sunday evenings until Friday mornings so that they can reconnect with their families over the weekend.
Throughout the week, we transferred our scholars to and from their summer programs to ensure that they attended on time. After school each day, our scholars participated in academic projects, curriculum and bonding activities, and then stayed overnight at the house.
So what have we learned the past 2 summers?
Number 1, details matter. This was not easy. Among many other logistics, we had to secure our licensing, our insurance, our house, our staff, our van, our curriculum, and more. But we also couldn't forget about the smaller details that were equally as important, such as our transportation routes, our discipline policy, our check-in and check-out sheets, and more.
Number 2, the power of partnerships. This summer we partnered with 5 different summer programs and 19 other organizations, all of whom have shown extraordinary support and optimism.
3, focused academics. This summer we decided to focus on civic engagement and women empowerment. Through a project-based curriculum, our girls tackled a problem that they saw in their communities and came up with solutions. They presented their findings to community leaders, including Reed Gusiora, the mayor of Trenton. We also provided workshops with Girls Unlimited and Women's Space, which focused on building a woman's self-confidence and through experiential learning. And our goal is to create the next generation of female leaders in Trenton.
Number 4, Trenton wants this. We have had to turn away more than half of the students that applied to our program. Additionally, over 85 people applied for jobs in our residential staff, some with more than 30 years of experience working with students.
Number 5, our model works and is scalable. Despite the challenges that public schools face, our scholars are powerful, capable, and driven young women ready to leave a mark in Trenton and the world.
We want to take this much further with a program that coincides with the academic school year beginning in the fall of 2019. We'll begin with 10 freshman high school girls and add 10 girls each year until we reach a capacity at 40. We know our model works, and we want to see this replicated in other low-income communities as a cost-efficient and powerful way to impact the lives of young people.
Under the guidance of Angela Duckworth's lab, we have tracked progress in psychological safety, perceived stress, grit, and more, and we're finding powerful impacts. For example, 71% of our scholars rose in their grit over just 4 weeks.
Additionally, we have 3 scholars returning from our first pilot last summer to this summer's cohort, and each of them have returned as leaders in their communities. For example, Kiera was elected president of her summer program, having run a successful campaign and being elected by her peers. Zoe developed Trenton's first youth summit, where Trenton residents under the age of 21 had the opportunity to meet with the newly elected mayor and talk about the challenges that they face as the youth in their communities. And DeRay is a member of the highly competitive Trenton Youth Chorus and even gave a speech during our summer gala to our supporters and organizations.
Our parents have also talked to us about their tremendous growth that they have seen in each of their daughters over the past 4 weeks. One of our parents said she has improved in her communication, the way she talks to people, her problem-solving skills, and the way she deals with certain situations.
Our model works. We just need the funds, and that's where you can help us.
Our first year of operations will cost about $262,000. That's $26,000 per student per year. For one girl to attend our program for 4 years, it will cost $104,000.
That is about a third of the indirect costs incurred by the average American high school dropout. That cost is paid by taxpayers like you.
We'll charge nominal tuition, but most of our funds will come from individual donors, corporate sponsorships, and private and government grants.
As mentioned previously, one of the biggest lessons that we've learned this summer is the power of partnerships. We've had the opportunity to connect with many bedrock organizations in Trenton, including Homefront, the Christina Sykes Academy, and ISLES, all of whom have shown us extraordinary optimism and support.
Organizations have also donated resources to our pilot programs this summer, including food for 4 weeks, furnishings for the girls' rooms, and curriculum content. For our full-year program, our Sustainable Fair, a local organization, has also agreed to give food for the full year of the program. Additionally, a local nonprofit has also offered to rent their newly renovated house at below market rates.
We are also closely mentored by community leaders, entrepreneurs, and corporate people who have much experience in nonprofit and education ventures.
Your donation will make an impact in our scholars' growth. We have already secured over $160,000, but we still have a long way to go. With your help, we can fully fund our full-year program and show the community that HomeWorks works.
We are asking you to help us raise $214,000 more, and this will cover the first year of operations, as well as was previously mentioned, helping our scholars grow as people. And we are HomeWorks.
Works
For the young women in Trenton,
when they feel empowered
self-affirmed,
and compassionate.
This is Trenton's first after-school boarding program. And now we have a short video from our scholars and parents.
All her dreams, whatever she can think of, that she's able to find out a way to get there. That's what I want for Dre. She does not let anything stop her.
She started HomeWorks. She came here as a very shy kid. She's very, very shy. She often doesn't say too much of anything. She had a lot of issues in school where she wouldn't stick up for herself, but I noticed that when she's come here, she's kind of stick up for herself. She speaks up for herself now. If there's something she doesn't like, she'll let you know she doesn't like it now.
HomeWorks means to me like a community and another place you can call home. Well, it meant to me expressing my feelings with other people, no matter if it's like a bad situation, like
they're always there for me and that I should always feel comfortable. I feel really open about being myself, like expressing my opinions and such. I feel like these girls here are like my sisters, through bond, not through blood.
Yeah, I feel like this year taught me more than last year about leadership.
You need to have courage to like step up to the job.
It's helped me with speaking publicly, how to make connections, how to write a resume, and also just overall how to take care of myself and make sure that I'm doing everything I can in my power to make sure that I'm okay.
I want to become a lawyer, a psychologist, anesthesiologist, chemist.
I think one of my biggest goals overall for myself is to just be successful.
Just look forward to the weekend is over to come back. And she was first called her home. I'm home here going home. So you are home here. She was, my other home.
Thank you, HomeWorks. And now for the Q&A.
Wow, very moving, I have to tell you. I think that what you're doing is absolutely extraordinary, and you're changing the world, and it's incredible. I'm curious if you could talk a little bit more about the fundraising plan that you have. You've already done a great job so far, and who's leading that? And you mentioned grants and private individuals. I'm wondering if you've added family foundations. Can you expand upon that a little bit?
Yeah, so far we have, I'm sorry, can you hear me? So far, we have mostly raised our funds from individual donors. We have a few grants, but very, very small grants. And most of, as what we were talking about before, most of it has been the Power of Partnership. So our food, our furniture, our curriculum, it's all been donated for free. Moving forward, we're hoping, as we have done this for the second time now, we'll be able to reach out to more grants and to foundations and hopefully to corporate companies as well, and see if they would be willing to donate either their resources or their funding. This is actually what I'll be doing next year. We actually got a $30,000 grant for me to go out and write more grants and to get more money, as well as be in the community.
And how many people came back of the original funders for the second year? How many people repeated?
In terms of funders?
Yeah.
So we just started our fundraising campaign around a year ago, and so a lot of the funds that have been donated has actually been this past year. So we're still in our first round.
Yeah, fantastic. Great job. Can tell that you really care about this. So with 10 every year, and I like that rollout plan that allows you to do that. How do you do admissions? Like how do you choose if so many people want to come? Are there specific criteria that you're using? Will those evolve over time? Who's in charge of that?
So this year we did student interviews, parent interviews, and a separate application for both. So parents would give an application and students had a written application. And we used the criteria on those applications to choose our cohort for this summer.
Also, what's on that application and also what we're trying to judge from the interviews that we do with the parents and with the students is basically who's going to benefit from this program the most. So first and foremost, we look at students who are highly motivated, and then we also look at need.
Yeah, and if you saw the video, Lavina's mom spoke, we really thought that Lavina would benefit from our program and being in a very supportive environment. She came in and she interviewed. She was so shy. She was shaking the entire time. She could barely speak above a whisper. And then you saw her just sort of grow and blossom a little bit under the support and the community and the sisterhood.
So obviously my thoughts echo the rest of the panel up here. Amazing work that you're doing, and what I would like to see, I'd like to see you think more about trying to figure out what you can do with the program itself, as far as not just grants, not one-off grants, but actually, Department of Education contracts, for example, their transportation contracts that people get that drive the buses around, et cetera, that can offset some of the costs of what you're doing. You may not turn it into a profit-generating enterprise, but you may be able to reduce the cost so much that it becomes a more scalable venture. And the reason why I say that is because you're really changing people's lives. Obviously, you know that. That's impacting everyone in this room. If you could do that for not just rolling out 10 at a time, but rolling out 10, then rolling out 100, then rolling out 100 new cities, right? You could really change the next generation significantly. So just think about ways to make the business, to make it more of a scalable business so you can touch more lives. This is great work, guys.
Thank you.
So watching the HomeWorks team put together their program this summer has truly been inspiring, and I'm honored to have been a part of it. So that concludes this year's Demo Day presentations, and we hope you enjoyed watching their journeys as much as we did.
But this is only the beginning. When the day comes that we have Afari and Lumha on our phones, Katnu in our pantries, TerraViews in our stores, and all the amazing innovation and improvements that Alira, HomeWorks, and Tendo bring into our lives, you'll know where it all began. Thank you. And please go out and talk to our teams at their demo stations. They'd love to talk to you all and tell you more. Sorry.